Welcome back to Furniture Industry News. Today is Monday, September 15th, 2025, and we've got a lot to cover in the world of retail, logistics, and furniture trends. This podcast is all about keeping you up to speed on what matters most in our industry, so let's jump right in. Let's start with tariffs, because they are once again shaping the way consumers spend. Even though the broader economy has felt steady recently, the latest surveys show that most U.S. consumers are still planning to make changes in their shopping habits because of tariffs. Nearly three-quarters of shoppers say they'll adjust what they buy or how much they spend if tariffs continue. And for our industry, that matters. Furniture is a big-ticket category, and any hesitation around household budgets can quickly spill over into slower store traffic or customers trading down to less expensive items. What's especially interesting is that people aren't just thinking about big imports like electronics or apparel. They're thinking about across-the-board adjustments. That means whether you're selling dining sets or mattresses, you're likely to feel the ripple effects. So, while tariffs may feel like background noise at this point, they continue to influence consumer psychology in a very real way. And tariffs tie directly into another big storyline right now: supply chains. The furniture industry has spent the last few years trying to recalibrate after COVID, port congestion, and freight cost surges. Now we're seeing yet another wave of reshuffling as delayed imports and shifting production locations force companies to rethink how they move product. Some importers are spreading risk by sourcing from multiple countries instead of relying so heavily on China or Vietnam. Others are diversifying logistics partners or increasing safety stock, even though that ties up more working capital. What we're hearing from logistics experts is that the days of just-in-time inventory are pretty much gone for furniture. Instead, we're in a world of just-in-case, building flexibility and redundancy into supply chains so that a hiccup in one port doesn't derail an entire season of product launches. For retailers, this means a little more patience when customers are asking, "When will it arrive?" And for manufacturers, it's about balancing costs against certainty. Speaking of China, another development worth watching has less to do with freight and more to do with tech. The US and China are reportedly set to confirm a deal on TikTok this week, specifically on September 19th. Now, why does that matter for furniture? Because TikTok has become a surprisingly powerful marketing tool for home goods. Many furniture brands, large and small, rely on it to showcase products, tap into viral trends, and reach younger buyers. If regulatory uncertainty had led to a ban, it would have left a big hole in the digital marketing toolkit. Instead, this potential agreement could provide some stability for retailers and vendors who've invested heavily in short-form video strategies. It doesn't mean TikTok is risk-free. Data privacy and political pressure remain in play. But for now, it looks like companies can keep using the platform without scrambling to shift budgets elsewhere. That's good news if you've built momentum with influencers or direct engagement campaigns there. From digital platforms, let's swing back to product trends, specifically in outdoor furniture. Outdoor living has been one of the bright spots in our industry over the last 5 years, and suppliers are doubling down by experimenting with new materials and more customization. We're seeing fabrics that are softer but still weather-resistant, recycled materials being used in frames, and modular seating that can be rearranged depending on the season or the space. Another theme is personalization. Customers are looking for more ways to make their patios feel like an extension of their living rooms. That means color choices, cushion options, and mix-and-match designs are becoming standard rather than premium. For retailers, this can be both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, it raises the ticket average when shoppers decide to upgrade or add extras. On the other hand, it can complicate inventory management if you're trying to stock every fabric swatch or frame variation. Still, the demand is there, and outdoor remains one of the categories where people are most willing to invest, even when the broader economy feels shaky. Now, let's talk mergers and acquisitions, because one deal just wrapped up that could have ripple effects in the home furnishing space. Bed Bath & Beyond has completed its $10 million acquisition of certain assets from Kirkland's. For context, Bed Bath & Beyond has been on a comeback path after bankruptcy, trying to rebuild its identity and presence. Kirkland's, meanwhile, has struggled to maintain its niche as a decor and home accents retailer. By acquiring assets, Bed Bath & Beyond gains access to Kirkland's designs, possibly some store leases, and most importantly, customer relationships. While $10 million isn't a massive transaction in retail terms, it signals that consolidation in the home space is very much alive. For furniture professionals, the lesson is to keep an eye on how these once separate banners start to overlap in consumer perception. Will shoppers who used to browse Kirkland's now find those products folded into Bed Bath & Beyond's stores or online? Will this create new competition for independent retailers who rely on home accents to bring customers in the door? It's too early to know, but the trend of consolidation is clear. Stronger players are absorbing weaker ones, and that can shift the competitive balance in local markets. What ties all of these stories together is a simple idea. The furniture industry doesn't exist in a bubble. Tariffs, supply chains, tech platforms, product innovation, and retail consolidation all interact to shape the environment we're working in. A tariff change in Washington influences customer behavior in Dallas. A supply chain delay in Vietnam changes lead times for retailers in Chicago. A TikTok ruling in Washington, D.C. shifts marketing strategies in Los Angeles. And acquisitions between big-box retailers affect foot traffic in small towns across the country. If there's one constant, it's change. And the companies that thrive are the ones that adapt quickly while staying focused on what customers actually want in their homes. That's all for today's update. Thanks for tuning in to Furniture Industry News. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.